Crisis management. When approaching any social intelligence use case, there are typically three main questions that every business needs answered. When it comes to crisis management, the first thing businesses want answered is, what is the impact of a brand crisis and how do I anticipate an online crisis in the future? Question 2. What is the impact of an industry crisis and how do I protect myself from its backlash? And question 3. How can I leverage my competitor's crisis to improve my brand equity? All of these business scenarios can be answered using data from within Synthesio dashboards. Finding the answers to this list of specific questions will help you understand the impact of any current or potential crisis situation. Next, we'll walk you through how to do exactly this using Synthesio data within a dashboard. At the end of this module, we'll walk you through the steps to set up your own crisis management dashboard. Use timelines to quickly understand when the crisis started and how long it lasted. Drill down into any point on the timeline to determine the causes of specific peaks and valleys. Use the volume to see how many total conversations about your situation are happening over time. Use the reach timeline to see how many people may be impacted by that messaging. Take advantage of filtering here to pivot your data based on the specific audience you want to measure. Easily visualize how much of the total conversation has the crisis topics included and by media type using the share of voice widgets. Use filtering here again to narrow the scope of data and look at it from a different angle. In order to see how your customers are reacting to any crisis issue, compare sentiment by topic. For example, you may choose to compare general brand sentiment to that of the crisis situation. The sentiment timeline allows you to see how quickly that sentiment has changed. Benchmark brand health by using Social Reputation Score (SRS) and gain an understanding of how my brand ranks against competitors and/or other product lines. SRS uses sentiment, volume, and influence to calculate a 0 to 100 score that measures brand satisfaction. To see the details of what's driving SRS, expand by subtopics, which may give you insight into where you can best impact brand health. Use the date, topic, and other filters to see how the crisis affected overall SRS versus your competitors. Set up alerts to be notified when possible crisis situation is happening or increasing in urgency. 2 of the 3 alerting options are most useful for crisis monitoring: real-time and volume-based. Volume-based alerts notify you when the number of mentions increases dramatically over a short amount of time. Use filters to specify certain topics or brands that are of interest. Real-time alerts notify you anytime specific mentions appear in your dashboard. Use this for very sensitive keywords. Understand which content was shared the most by using the top retweets, top hashtags, and top URL widgets. Take advantage of filtering here to pivot your data based on the audience that you want to measure. For example, if you want to see how shared content is different between young adults and those in the 18 to 35 age range. Leverage Synthesio's natural language processing using the insight tree to gain insight on crisis messages. See which words occur most often within conversations, as well as see which words are frequently used together. Click on the word to see the mentions driving the trend. Use the Twitter heat map to see which locations are most impacted by the crisis. This widget shows where heavy concentrations of conversations are happening across the world. Use the filters here to find further insights. Gain an understanding of the audiences that are reacting to this issue by using demographics and affinities. A crisis dashboard can provide a wealth of information, but how do we get there? Simply walk through these setup steps to get the data you need. Let's do that now. Choose a time frame for social monitoring. Typically, crisis use cases monitor a few months to a year back for a historical view and going forward to collect relevant ongoing conversations. Historical data that Synthesio has not previously been collected can be backfiled by Synthesio's sourcing team. Be sure to contact your CSM to assure data consistency. Choose the countries and languages for monitoring. To cover users who do not share the geography we recommend selecting Include Mentions without country information. Language detection, powered by Synthesio's natural language processing, allows you to choose from over 75 languages. Once again, we recommend selecting Not Available to capture mentions that are not identified. For example, if they use many hashtags and emojis. Different brands, industries, and geographies have different social listening needs, which can be customized here. For example, the cosmetics industry relies heavily on photo and video platforms and may want a brand health view limited to only these platforms. Alternatively, when financial firms seek insight on social conversation, mainstream conversations sometimes distract from customer insight. When selecting media types, limit scope to those most relevant to your needs. Synthesio's dedicated sourcing team can add sources and sites to our monitoring. Contact your CSM if there are sources you need added to your listening scope. Synthesio allows you to structure topics as one level or two level. One level is useful when comparing individual crisis topics or brands to each other. Two level provides more nuance by nesting specific sensitive topics under a single brand or product. If you simply want to understand a particular sensitive topic and how it affects your brand, one topic level is sufficient. If you seek to understand these topics in relation to your own brand, versus two would provide you with that flexibility. For crisis management, you may choose to organize topics by known or existing crisis, by sensitive topics that need additional monitoring. A typical crisis management query structure consists of keywords, product brand, and keywords, crisis terms, not irrelevant terms. For example, cell phone and fire or exploding, not sales or buy now. A query might look like the query preview you see in this screenshot. Using guided mode, adding individual keywords will automatically fit all terms into this structure. For users with experience building Boolean queries, using the Advanced Query Builder will provide you a place to build a more complex query. To assure a comprehensive crisis dashboard, keywords, hashtags, and social pages for all products should be added to this section for the brand and any competitors being monitored. Synthesio offers a number of use case specific templates which pre-populates a dashboard with typical widgets and KPIs. We recommend using the crisis management template and using the drag and drop functionality to add any additional widgets relevant to your specific needs. Synthesio users have the ability to drag and drop, rearrange and remove any widgets from a dashboard. What you're seeing on the screen now is a summary of all the widgets that have been discussed so far within this crisis use case. Drag them into your design to utilize them. Your dashboard is unique to your business needs and the specific questions you want answered. Your KPIs, media types and audiences and social data can all be specifically tailored to uncover insights that will help drive strategy and execution across all facets of your organization. Remember, this is just one of the many use cases that can be explored using Synthesio dashboards. In our other use case videos, you can see how each set of business problems is approached in entirely unique ways. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to get certified by taking a quiz.